George Bernard Shaw said that the biggest problem with communication is the illusion that it has taken place. This leads me to wonder whether or not we will ever be able to fully communicate with machines. My name is Sandra Gilchrist. I am an ADP student. My concentration is in educational technology, and this makes me curious to see whether the definition of communication that we understand as a class will ever apply to artificial intelligence. We use smart machines every day. We talk to Siri and Alexa, and they respond verbally to us. But I'm going to bring out two distinctions that we can use as a guide to determine whether or not artificial intelligence will ever be able to fully communicate. Single channel versus multi-channel. This is the first. Single-channeled communication is verbal communication. Multi-channeled is nonverbal communication. J. Dan Rothwell, in his book In the Company of Others, points out that you can say I hate you with many different statements. The statements change, but the channel remains the same. Now, with nonverbal communication, you can use very many channels. You can pound your fist, you can slam a door, you can kick something, and people understand your hatred that way. Computers do not do this. They can communicate verbally, but not with reacting that way. Now, the degree of ambiguity of nonverbal and verbal communication is the second point I'd like to bring out. They're both ambiguous, both verbal and nonverbal. However, there is much more ambiguity with nonverbal communication. We can misunderstand nonverbal much easier. Sarcasm is one of the things that can make verbal conversation difficult to understand for someone who doesn't understand it. For example, thanks a lot. Now, most verbal conversations, however, are easily understood. Nonverbal messages are more easily misunderstood. You think about someone at a funeral crying versus someone at a wedding crying. Think of how hard it would be to explain in words alone the theory of sarcasm. And do you think computers understand sarcasm? And do you think that they could use it? Now, after reviewing both of these distinct differences between verbal and nonverbal communication, do you think machines are fully capable of communicating with us? Remember, verbal is single-channeled and nonverbal is multi-channeled, and verbal communication is much less ambiguous than nonverbal. We'll see what the future holds.